Welcome to the Texas Authors Institute TV show, produced by Beyond Bourgeois for the Texas Authors Institute of History, Incorporated, copyright 2024. If you would like to become a sponsor of our show and help us produce great content, please email us at texasauthors@outlook.com. If you would like to be on the show as a Texas author, please email us at texasauthors@outlook.com for more information. Music is Frolic of Words, created for Texas Authors Institute by Happy Fellows. Thank you for watching the Texas Authors Institute of History show with your hostess, Denise Byrson.
Welcome to everyone to our radio show today, where we encourage everyone to drop everything and read. We're so glad that we are having the privilege to interview Tiffany Obeng. She is the author of over 25 children's books. I'm telling you, I'm so excited to be able to interview her today. And she has them in such great organizations. So she has her career books, career children's books, and then she has her self-esteem books, and then she has her SEL books, and they're just so wonderful. And so, Tiffany, tell us a little bit about yourself. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you for having me so much. And yes, I always lose count of how many books I have. I'm like 20 plus. So, so you telling me 25, I'm like, oh, wow, that's how many I have. But so I'm an author, and I am the founder, owner of Sugar Cookie Books Publishing and Print. And that's where I publish my titles under. I started in August of 2020. And my first book was Andrew Learns About Actors, and that started the Andrew Career Book series, which I hold near and dear to my heart. And then in 2021, I released my second book, and then I went on to release 8 more books because I was on a roll. I had something to say, I had things to accomplish. And doing it all the while having my son, who's now 8 years old. My daughter, she came along during that time, and she's now 3. And then, of course, my husband, he supports me all the way through. And we joke about how he invested in the book business, or in my book business, even though our money is conjoined. And so I'm just happy to do what I do. I love being able to add diversity to children's literature. We are severely lacking diversity in that space. And so to be able to do something about it, and am doing something about it by putting out quality, educational, and engaging children's books, especially those that can inspire their future, along with spark an interest in reading, is very fulfilling.
I see, because I enjoyed myself when I was doing my research and getting the opportunity to familiarize myself with you and your work. And so I like the Andrew series because Andrew learns about a lot of things. And I think it's just so important for our children to be able to learn about different other careers besides basketball and being a singer and those types of things. Those are nice careers. However, everybody doesn't get the chance for that. So I like the fact that you wrote about Andrew being an engineer, Andrew being an actor, Andrew being a teacher, a lawyer, and all the different books. And then you even wrote one for one of the young ladies. I think, is it Samantha? Yeah.
So as far as the career books, I did add Ashley.
Ashley, yeah.
Learning about engineers, yeah.
Yeah. So I was just excited to see that. And so what do you plan on, what do you want your books to fulfill in our community? Because I think it's really important, because we have to build literacy up in our community. So what do you plan on Andrew accomplishing in his endeavors?
So being in this field for now almost 4 years, I've come to realize not only the statistics that surround the lack of diversity, but also focusing on the literacy rates, or becoming aware of the illiteracy rates that's among our Black children, and then even more so among our Black boys. And so when you think about that, and what I do for a living, which is in DEI, or workplace diversity, I think about like the talent pipeline. I think about how if we don't have a talent to pull from, like if we don't nurture the talent pipeline, then we're not going to have anyone to choose from it. So I'm hoping that my books, especially being that a lot of my books have Black boy characters on them, would encourage Black boys particularly to pick up a book and read. There are not a lot of books that feature Black boys as main characters. However, all boys are expected to read books that feature anyone else. And so I'm hoping that, again, with my books featuring Black boys, we can get them reading, we can keep them in school, and we can get them into the pipeline so they can become whatever they want to be. And the same thing with, of course, Black girls and all children, just introducing them to their futures. When we're young, we have career day, hopefully at school, and we have ideas of what we think we might be, but you hit the nail on the head, Denise, when you said aspiring to be something beyond an athlete or a singer. I feel like, or I know that a lot of our children, particularly Black children, see the basketball players, see the football players, see the rappers. And so that's what they aspire to be because that's what they're around. And so if I can put these images out of Black people or diverse people doing things such as teaching, being an engineer, being a lawyer, being a scientist, and so on and so forth, then they can see it and they can be it. And so my one last point I like to make is, in Andrew Learns About Teachers, I was very intentional on featuring a Black male teacher because we do not see Black male teachers in lower grade levels. And so I really wanted to put that image out there that, you know, you Black boy can aspire to be a teacher and all children can aspire to be the person that they see every single day aside from their parents.
Yeah, that is amazing because you're so right. And I think I was so excited about this interview is because I do things for children too. I have a foundation for children. And so I'm doing it right now. I'm doing financial literacy. I want them to learn how to make sure they can, because I told them, I said, you can make $43 million, but if you don't know how to count it, it don't matter. And so so I'm so glad for this series. And I had so many books to choose from. And I was like, oh my God. So could you really tell us a little bit more about the Andrew series and what and all that, you know, it is to reach the children, and what else do you expect it to do in the communities?
So beyond keeping them in the pipeline so we can have the diverse time pool to pull from. So in my day life or day job, I like to say I'm an attorney by day and I'm a writer by night. So it was very important, again, for me to educate children and their parents. A lot of parents do not understand what careers entail. They have an idea from what they see on TV or what they may think it entails. But it was really important to me, especially in Andrew Learns About Lawyers, to showcase lawyers as not only people that go to the courtroom, because a lot of lawyers do not step foot in the courtroom, such as myself. And I also wanted to show that just because you get your law degree, you can do so many other things, or because you have your law degree, you can do so many things. You don't have to be a practicing attorney as you think about. And I also wanted to introduce the idea of different areas of law, because the ones that I knew about growing up was just criminal law, because that's what you see on TV. Those are the ones that are dramatic, you know, they have storylines.
Yes.
So I wanted to be able to show them, like, beyond criminal, if you have a pet and you know, love your pet, you can be an animal rights attorney. So I wanted to put different ideas of different type of attorneys or areas that attorneys focus in. So I'm hoping, as I've said, that it can keep them in school, keep them engaged, contribute to the pipeline. I want the Andrew career books to become like the Britannica of career books for kids. And so I want to get to the point where we have 26 plus different books, and you say, hey, I want to learn about architects. And you're like, oh, Andrew learned about architect. Let's, you know, pull out that book and show them. Mm-hmm.
That's a big. Now I'm gonna tell you one of my other favorites. It was one of the ones I thought, oh my goodness, this is such a, because I was just talking about this the night the lights went out. And it's a story that promotes family time, imaginations, and unplugging. Because so many of our children, so even in my nonprofit, I am promoting outdoor games, like, you know, get back to writing on the chalk on the sidewalk and dodgeball and kickball, all those things. So tell us about that and what that story is saying to our children as well.
And it's so funny. I know you asked me about that book, but it's so funny you mentioned chalk and being outside and dodgeball, because I just did a social media post today. Today is Healthy Kids Day, posted by the YMCA. And so I did a social media post about Sunny Vibes Summer, My Summer Skin is Radiant, and Sammy the Good Sport and Samantha the Good Sport, because it features chalk, playing with chalk, if it features dodgeball. So it was just funny that you said all those things. So the night the lights went out, that is it's a spring story how it came about, at least to me. So we were experiencing another blackout, you know, and my son was struggling to figure out like how to entertain himself.
Mm-hmm.
entertain himself during a blackout. And so just looking at him, seeing what he was going through, I decided to kind of write that down and just as a story between us. But my son loved it so much. And then of course my mom loved it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna publish it. And so in creating the character Avery, which is strongly inspired by my son, we read about it and we laugh at Avery because Avery's just so dramatic. Like him trying to find a way to have fun is just so comical. And it's like, Avery, like, really, is it really that serious? But I just thought it was really important to show kids, especially in the digital age, that there are ways to have fun that does not involve electronics. And, you know, there are fun times in bonding with your family. So whether your lights go out or not, you can still have a good family time, chuckle. We even include instructions to the game that they end up playing in the book that Avery had come up with. And so it's just a fun read.
Oh, I really was excited about that. I said, that is so true, because I got tickled last week at an event. I gave a little girl some jacks. I don't know if you know.
She's like, what is this?
She's like, what is and I said, do you know what to do with those? So it was so funny, the whole thing. So we're going to take a short break right now, and we will going to hear from our wonderful sponsors, and we will be right back with Tiffany Obeng. Thank you.
Embark on a literary journey beyond boundaries. Ready to revolutionize your author journey in the metaverse? Top 10 ways authors can embrace the metaverse and prepare for a metaverse bookstore is your guide to transforming authorship. Immerse in three-dimensional spaces, host virtual book launches and signings, use augmented reality for interactive book covers, collaborate with metaverse bookstores, create immersive reading experiences, and invest in virtual reality author platforms. Tokenize your creations with blockchain and NFTs, join metaverse writing communities, and stay adaptable to technological advances. Elevate your storytelling and thrive in the metaverse. Get your copy and unlock the future of authorship. Available in print, ebook, and audiobook.
Each and every one of us has a mission in life. Mine is to help people laugh through the good times and the bad. My name is Charlotte Canyon, and I'm an author, a speaker, and a host on Indie Beacon Radio. If you need me to speak at an event or autograph my book, you can contact me at charlotte@charlottecanyon.com. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
Texas Authors Institute of History is not only a nonprofit museum for Texas authors, TAIH is also a place where authors can learn about publishing and book marketing. Check out our new magazine, the Texas Authors Magazine, available for free at texasauthors.institute today.
Thank you for watching the Texas Authors Institute of History show with your hostess, Denise Byrson.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our radio show. We're so excited. We're interviewing Tiffany Obeng, and she is the author of over 25 children's books. I mean, they're amazing. And I'm so excited to be interviewing her today and all that she's trying to do, pouring into our communities and about literature and being in literacy. So we're excited to be talking with her today. Welcome back, Tiffany.
Thank you.
I want to ask about this book too, Two Houses Down.
Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh. So that's one of the books that I wish people would actually read more of, but they get so scared when they read the subtitle. They're like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. So Two Houses Down is a story about divorce and friendship. And it is inspired by my parents' divorce and me moving away from my best friend who lived 2 houses down. And it's told from the perspective of what I imagine my best friend might have had questions when she learned that her best friend was no longer 2 houses down, and her parents might have said, hey, you know, her parents got a divorce. And so the story, again, follows Ebony, or Constance. It follows the main character who is excited to go play with her best friend, as she does every single weekend. But then when she gets to her friend's house, she learns that her friend cannot come out to play because her friend uses this big word, such as my parents are getting divorced and we're moving. And so Ebony, of course, is sad, or Constance is, of course, sad. She goes back home and she talks to her mom like, Ebony's moving. They said something about divorce. So her mom helps her understand what divorce means, that is nobody's fault. and that her life may look different, and these are ways you can support her. And then, of course, when you have a friend who moves away, you have the question of how will our friendship change? Will it affect our friendship? Will we still be friends? And so they explore that part as well, and it ends on an uplifting note. So it's about changing families and changing friendships and moving, but divorce scares people. But that's what that was, and it's a heartwarming story. I really enjoy picking that book up and reading. I'm like, man, you did a good job on that.
That's amazing. Can I ask you a question? So when did you really start writing? Because I know, you. I think I read that you, that it was like a bucket list thing for you to start writing. But did you write as a child as well?
Right. So growing up, I did do a lot of writing and I did do a lot of reading. And so one of the things on my list when I was a child, in addition to being a lawyer and a dancer and just all the things, was becoming an author. And so, yes, creative writing was one of my favorite things to do at the time. I've always been told I was really good at writing, whatever form it took. And that was another reason why I was encouraged to go to law school. They're like, you're great at writing, you're great at speaking, I guess I was great at thinking, I don't know, but but they were saying I was great at writing and I would love to read. And so it was a bucket list item, like, oh, okay, this is something I could do. But it wasn't until the pandemic that I had the time or came across people who published independently. I didn't know that was an option. I thought you had to go traditional, and that's not an easy feat. And so when I learned I can do it independently, I used my lawyer background to research and understand the business or publication business, and published my first book. And I was like, oh, okay, so I got that out, didn't do any marketing, just told my friends and family, like, look what I did. And then, so that's why I said it was a bucket list item. My husband, my mom were constantly like, when are you gonna write a book? When are you gonna write a book? I'm like, it's not that simple, guys. And so put that out, and then things just kept going from there.
And that is amazing. And so then you came up with Sugar Cookies Publishing. I love that. I just love it, love it, love it. So what has been your experience as publishing, having your own publishing company and publishing your own books? I know it gives, to me, I think it gives, I have a publishing company too, so it gives you some power, I think, or
Yeah, definitely. That's the only way I was able to release 20 plus titles within a 3-year time frame. Otherwise, I would never have been able to do that. I do have one book, you may see it on my website, The Story of Maya Angelou, that is traditionally published, and that took like a year and more to get out. So I know that having my own publishing imprint or company or methods, I'm able to put out the stories that I think are important, that I think other people need to hear, that I think other people need to see. I mean, it's a lot of work to have all that control and having to work and source different editors, source different typesetters, formatters, illustrators, and so on. But it enables me to be able to do something important.
Now, could you tell us briefly about your season series? I like it too.
So the season series came about because I was kind of testing things at this moment. Fall was coming around and I was like, I don't have enough time to get a fall book out and promote it, because at this point I learned that you have to promote your books. So I wrote Winnie Loves Winter. And in doing my research for Seasons books, one of the reasons I chose Seasons books is because the lack of diversity. We don't really have any books that are just about the seasons and a Black kid enjoying it or talking about it. And so Winnie Loves Winter came around, and she tells you all the things she loves about winter. But of course, because I have that educational background, it includes facts about winter. And of course, if you're going to have seasons, you got to do all 4. And so the next one was Spencer Knows Spring. And that's like the most popular one of the 4. And I'm still like, I asked my mom, like, why? How did they choose Spencer out of all? I mean, I'm grateful, of course. But I'm like, how did they choose Spencer out of all of them? And I remember being so scared to nervous to release Spencer, because I was like, can it follow up with Winnie Loves Winter? Because Winnie was doing so well. So I was like, can it really follow up, or is it going to flop? And it just skyrocketed. And it was recently a part of the Literacy Now Houston Reads Day campaign. And so did the spring, did Fallon Favors fall, and then of course came around and did Sunny Five Summer. But that was so hard. That one was the hardest season book to do. By we got them, and that's why I just wanted to show Black kids enjoying the seasons and talking about the seasons and teaching about the seasons.
And that's good because so many times we don't get out in the various seasons. You know, I'm from the Midwest, so winter is, you know, I like winter. I like a little cool weather, and so so it's good to me in fall, of course. But when it comes to that summer and it's hot, you sometimes now I'm in Texas, so that's a whole nother story. And so
Always
people all the time, well, what do you do? I said, I don't go outside. We don't go sit on the porch in Texas. So anyway,
That's right.
that is so with all the books that you have and all of the various, because you have some science books and all different ones. What is your goal for the community, and how could how could other people that are doing children's books as well be able to make the same impact? Because that is really what we need to do at this point, is make impact into children's lives. That's my plan and that's my goal. So I know that this is really important. What you're doing is really important, and I really admonish you for doing this because it's so important right now. It really is. And so just, and then we're gonna have to take another break in just a minute.
So to support, we really need support, especially for diverse literature. It's an attack on diverse literature just by featuring a character that is non-white or by publishing a book and not being white. It's really difficult. You have the stigma or isolation of people thinking that, oh, because you're a Black author or because you write books that feature Black children and families, then that means it's only for Black people, and that's not true. All of my books, minus 2 of them, have very universal themes. Again, we just talked about careers. That's for everybody and anybody. Seasons for anybody and everybody. Changing family and friendships. That's universal. We have the lying book. Like, it's all universal themes except for 1 to 2 of my books. And so if we could just have people understand and accept that our books that feature BIPOC or diverse main characters can still be for everyone and are for everyone, then that can help us authors and publishers get those traditional deals and have a wider impact and voice. And also the book bans, we have to stand up against book bans.
Yes.
There needs to be some type of regulation on and criteria on what it takes to ban a book. Like, I'm just still really confused that Amanda Gorman's book about hope was struck down. So, or that Derek Barnes, he couldn't go read at a school because they didn't want him to read I Am Every Good Thing. And it's like, it's just a book about self-esteem. Like, it's not that serious. So
right.
I mean, it's not that serious. So that's how you can support, by supporting books that feature people that don't look like you, because books are windows and books are mirrors. And it just really helps with the inclusion and diversity in the future. Like, to think that our kids now are going to see characters like this in books, and then when they get into the workplace, they won't be like, oh, what is this, or who is that? I don't know how to interact with them. They'll see us as normal, as humans, just like everyone else. My book, Black Boy Here Joy, I really take pride in it because, one, the Crown Act, I don't know how deep we can get into the Crown Act, but the Crown Act and just showing the missing piece, if you will, to the Crown Act, or how people don't realize that the Crown Act covers Black boys and that it covers schools.
Yes.
So to be able to have different boys with different hairstyles in that book and showcase them in their beauty, I just really like that vision. And I know that it will have an impact on those who buy it, whether they are a Black boy or otherwise.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing it. That makes a lot of sense. And I'm telling you, it's just something that we need. But we got to take another break and let our sponsors do some more sponsoring. So we'll be right back with Tiffany Obeng. Thank you.
Immerse yourself in the world of audiobooks with Top 10 Reasons Authors Should Create Audiobooks. This guide unlocks key advantages, from expanding your audience reach to ensuring accessibility for all. Dive into multitasking convenience, forge emotional connections, and break language barriers for global appeal. Narrate your own audiobook for a personal touch, explore genre adaptability, and tap into the profitable market. Stay ahead with technological trends and use audiobooks as powerful marketing tools, opening doors to interviews, podcasts, and exposure opportunities. Elevate your authorial journey with the Sonic Revolution. Get your guide to audiobook success now. Available in print, ebook, or audiobook.
Join Texas Creatives on June 1, 2024 in Seguin, Texas for the 3rd Lone Star Festival. It's free to the public and a lot of fun for all types of families. Learn more about the event and who is attending and performing at Lone Star Festival.fun.
Texas Authors Institute of History is not only a nonprofit museum for Texas authors, TAIH is also a place where authors can learn about publishing and book marketing. Check out our new magazine, the Texas Authors Magazine, available for free at texasauthors.institute today.
Thank you for watching the Texas Authors Institute of History show with your hostess, Denise Byrson.
Well, welcome back, everyone, from our break. We thank God for hearing from our wonderful sponsors. And so now I would like to just ask Tiffany, so as we wrap up, what is next for you? What is the next book that you plan on putting out? And what are you working on now? Or you got any events coming up soon?
Yes, so I am currently working on the 6th book in the Andrew Career Books, and it is entitled Andrew Learns About Chefs. And so if you follow me on Instagram or my socials, I've been posting about, the behind the scenes, even when I was writing it, because I needed some time. I needed to carve out time to write it. And so I did Instagram lives just to kind of hold myself accountable and going through the writing process and making sure I'm including, it was almost part of my research as well. But I just love, I know you didn't ask me this, but I just love doing the career books because I get to learn about so many different careers and how important or how they contribute to society in our lives. And I just think back to, if I was in school and had been introduced to the career of engineers, like I had some friends who wanted to be engineers when we were in high school, but I was like, I don't know about that. But like to think about their contribution and why they're so important, scientists as well, lawyers, of course, teachers, actors, and chefs. So I really enjoy doing the career books. And so that's the next book I'm putting out. I did mention architects. So I do hope to start on Andrew Learns About Architects, maybe later in the year, 2025. But the immediate next project is chefs. And then I'll pick back up with vending events in June. But right now, I'm just home drafting and trying to get the next book out.
Now, where can they reach you on social media? On Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? Where can they reach you? What is your?
So Facebook and Instagram is Sugar Cookie Books, and my website is sugarcookiebooks.com. It is very consistent across all platforms. I'm not on Twitter, but I am on Pinterest as Sugar Cookie Books.
That is amazing. I love Sugar Cookie Books. I was on your website all day today. Not all day, but a lot. I mean, that's anyway. And then so then where can we buy your books? We can buy them on sugarcookiebooks.com. And then where else?
Every online major retailer, book retailer. So of course, Amazon, barnesandnobles.com. Some of my books are Target.com, Walmart.com. So, but Amazon is probably the easiest.
And so and also I want to ask this question too, because if I go into the parks and recreation centers and I'm able to go into their after school care programs and teach classes and stuff like that, I said I'm gonna have to take some of those career books in there and so they can see them. So I'll buy some so that I can make sure I can go and introduce them to them so they'll know something about that within that thing, because they love for people to come in and teach children about things. So that's one of the things I said, I'm gonna get some of her books so I can take them in here. So I just want you to know that I'm excited about your series, because I can have some coming up myself. But anyway, I'm so excited about it. So thank you so much. We're winding down. So I know it seems like time goes so fast when we're having fun, but it has been my pleasure to be able to interview you and to be able to find out about all the wonderful things you're doing and how you're making an impact on children and even outside the school system. So we don't always have to be in the school system to make the impact, but you can still make impact on our children and on our communities, doing the things that you would know that are things that are good things. So thank you so much for that and all that you're doing. And we just I thank you for sharing all your written masterpieces with us today. We didn't get to go through all of them, but we went through quite a few. And so I'm so thankful for that. And then also, I want everyone that listens to this broadcast, please go out and support our Texas authors. She's a wonderful Texas author, and she has a lot to impart into your children. So make sure that you buy some of these books and read them to your children. and so that they can be able to see from a broader perspective and see things that they may not see right in front of them, but look at all of these wonderful things that they can do that might be something that's deep on the inside of them. So thank you so much for the time that you've given us today. And I look forward to seeing you at some events, maybe, because we float around Texas as well. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. In Texas, remember to drop everything you read and support our authors. Thank you.
Welcome to the Texas Authors Institute TV show, produced by Beyond Bourgeois for the Texas Authors Institute of History, Incorporated, copyright 2024. If you would like to become a sponsor of our show and help us produce great content, please email us at texasauthors@outlook.com. If you would like to be on the show as a Texas author, please email us at texasauthors@outlook.com for more information. Music is Frolic of Words, created for Texas Authors Institute by Happy